Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Nerdmode, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about some pretty cool stuff. At least I think it's cool, but again, that's dependent upon how much you guys want to interact and how much you guys find the topics that I selected for the commentary of importance, or something that you can, go to a different video or do what you need to do afterwards. But with that in mind, definitely I'm going to do my best to entertain you guys and post something that is relevant or makes you think a little bit. With that in mind, guys, let's get started. Obviously, the gameplay you guys are going to be seeing today is Black Ops. I know Black Ops 2 is out, the whole 100 yards, but this is what I had that was the shortest file on my hard drive. A lot of the stuff that I have nowadays is Battlefield 3, which is ginormous in file size, and, I don't think you guys want to hear me talk 30 minutes about, my selected topic. So, I figured I would cut a couple of ropes here, get something small, at least something that was significant, and, you guys could watch, or you guys could turn on whatever else you need to and listen to the commentary proportion, which in both cases that is definitely fine. Either way, just letting you guys know. I don't really remember a whole lot about the gameplay, though, to give you guys full effect. I just remember this is back when I was doing my Respect the Weapon series, which, it was a really good series. I really enjoyed it, but at the same point, there was no criticisms from it. That was awesome. But I would have to say that, in my own personal defense, it definitely wasn't exactly what I had foresaw. It was more of a statistic thing, and let's be honest, when you guys watch videos, you're here for entertainment value. A large majority of you are. You're not here to learn about what guns do in real life. If you wanted to learn that, you would go out there, go out on the field or watch, a more professional guy talk about it, a more enthusiastic and more, informed guy about the selected weapon that you were talking about. A lot of the stuff I was talking about was just research information. It was stuff that, one, I had never shot, guarantee that a majority of those guns are illegal as a civilian, but in the same respect, if you really wanted to get that forte, you really wanted to get that, generic standpoint, that generic feeling for what the weapon did, you wouldn't watch a video of a Call of Duty guy talking about statistics. You would want to watch a real life video or something like that. So I decided to terminate the project as a whole, and I think it was for the better. This has been a while ago. If you guys are seeing this on a different network or something like that, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But for a lot of the guys that will see it on my channel or have bounced around from network to network, know what I'm talking about, more nor less. So with that in mind, guys, I'm going to get into the main gist of it, and I'm going to make you guys think a little bit. I got to, dissecting my, memory, I guess you could say, thinking a little bit, doing a little bit of, equations and stuff like that. No, I don't mean like mathematical equations, but, more or less brainstorming, okay? With that in mind, guys, my main thing I want to talk to you guys about, and I don't know how this is going to go. Hopefully you guys will get really enthusiastic, pumped, maybe probably not, but, hopefully you guys do. And I want to see what you guys have for the comments. I'm more interested in that, the final result of this, but with that in mind, let's get started. So, when you guys think of an outbreak, it could be zombies, whatever. And a lot of the guys on my channel will know what I'm talking about when I say the zombie outbreak stuff, because I do a lot of this kind of stuff on my channel personally. I find it a lot of fun, but if you're seeing it again on a different network, this is probably nothing that you are familiar with. So, when you guys have an outbreak or whatever kind of occurrence that has shifted the way of life, changed and altered some individual unit of our existence, our humanity, whatever, and basically turned it into something that we are not used to, where do you go? A lot of people would go to a center that has a lot of food, consumption value, whatever. But for this project, we're going to leave it to just your property, your parents' property, whoever you live with, whatever, however that functions. And, what do? But here's the twist to it. You have your property, you'll probably have a couple bathrooms, maybe a single bathroom, depending on what kind of house you live on and your conditions. But overall, you have a bathroom, a kitchen, living room, dining room, that kind of stuff. And the catcher is that you are only by yourself, which I guess if you live by yourself, that's not a big deal. But the more or less of the project is to see how you would choose between a selected topic, which can consist of, you have your rooms, as I stated before, bathroom, kitchen, stuff like that, but the catcher is, again, that each individual room is blocked off by a door. So let me basically figure this out, how to say it in a better sense. You have your kitchen, a lot of dining rooms. Dining rooms will not have doors because they're free access. You have free open points, ways to enter and exit without having to turn a door or move a object. So with this project, the whole point it is to block off everything. So you'd have doors like your own bedroom, parents' room, whatever, that is blocked off by a door, which is pretty standard in most households. Closets, stuff like that. Your kitchens, all that would also have a door. But the key to the component is that I'm trying to get across to you guys is that out of every room in your house, you have to pick one room. And, you know, there's a lot of things that you need to think about. You need to think about, well, I need water, because you're going to need water and food to survive. You're probably going to have to take a crap and piss. So you're probably going to want, you know, something or an idea of how to get about that. You could, you know, terminate it by throwing it out the window or whatever if you choose a kitchen, a living room, whatever. You're going to want comfortability. You know, you're going to want to be relaxed when you're in an environment. You're going to want to be able to clean yourself. And, you know, not every room in your house will pose to do all of this. And that's where you guys need to think along with me. So, when you think about it, you know, living rooms are usually comfortable. You would have electronics, the ability to relax, you know, be more comfortable, but your downsides would be no food and water. And that means you're probably not going to live too long. Unless, for some reason, that you got a stash of Doritos or something under, like, the pillows or something, you might survive a little while. You are also not allowed to leave your property. So whatever room you select, there is no way to get in or out of it. It's just you are there. It's kind of like showing up in, trying to think of something, like a cell, like a prison cell. You show up there, no way to get in or out. I do realize that you can get out of them if you are really, really intelligent and have enough time, but the point of the conversation is not to get out. You want to be placed in there, and it's all about survival from that standpoint. Now, a lot of you guys might bring up the question, well, food and water only last so long. Well, water will usually last forever as long as your house has a pipe for that, but with that in context, food will only last so long, so you are correct. You know, you'd have to think about that. A lot of places in your house might consume or, you know, might have more food, like a pantry, for example, will have usually more than what your kitchen will have. And that's not always true, but, you know, if you are some rich family, I presume your pantry is pretty stacked. If not, you know, a pantry might consist of slightly more food, slightly less food, but the objects within a pantry can consist of canned food, stuff like that, more of the snack type. That is different for each family, etc. like that, but there's a lot to think about, you know, you just have a lot to basically digest, you know, have a lot to think about, and for me personally, I guess without going on to further ado and stuff like that, you know, a safe would be in a room, so you'd have guns down there, but what would be the point of having guns when you're not going to leave the room? You're not actually allowed to leave, there's no perimeter that you are subjected to and anything like that, it's just you are placed here and you are forever to stay. And a lot of you guys might be like, why'd you choose the outbreak then, because there's no reason to leave? Well, the component is, why would you just randomly go in a room and start boarding up your doors? Nah, exactly, you wouldn't do that. So, in my idea, I got to thinking and I was like, you know, a bathroom would be a good place. You'd be able to dispose of your waste, which is usually taking a crap or pissing. You'd be able to bathe, you'd have water, but your bad side would be you have no food. So, your life cycle wouldn't be as long as some would think. And that's where I started. And then you kind of get to thinking like, well, a kitchen would be an alright place, because you'd have food and water. You could kind of wash yourself, not to the fullest, but, you know, you'd have dish soap, so I guess you could kind of wash your hair. I mean, it wouldn't be the most ethical thing in the world. It definitely would not be something that you'd be like, yes, get to wash my hair with soap this time, with dish soap. So, again, you don't really have the luxury of comfortability in there. You don't get to sit down on, you know, solid couches and stuff like that. You might have good chairs in there. I personally don't, so that's where I'm going to go with it. I mean, we would have wooden chairs, so, to the point, that wouldn't be the most comfortable, and we have tiled floors, so you don't really get a benefit of comfortability. You don't really get to lay down and be like, oh, well, this carpet feels great, or this blanket. You'd have no, I guess, ability to, you know, warm yourself if you were cold. I mean, the best thing you would have is rags that are, you know, towels or whatever. And again, not the best thing in the world. I mean, you definitely would not wake up and be like, yes, I get to sleep with, you know, small little towels. That would definitely not be something that you would be looking forward to. And, you know, a lot of people might be like, well, my room's good. I mean, you'd have electronics, you'd have comfortability. Most rooms would have that. You'd have a bed, so I guess that would be a lot more relaxed on your back or your sitting ability. You'd have the ability to, internet surf. I'm not going to say that, the internet or anything is off limits and that's cut off from society. Along with your kitchen, if you do have a TV in there, which that's a toss-up, I guess. Some people do, some don't. You might have that ability for electronical power as well. But with that in mind, where else would you want to go? I mean, you'd have a garage, theoretically, so you would have not really much down there. I mean, I guess if you wanted to opt out, that would always be your option, along with any kind of weapon that you found. You definitely have that power to do so, but again, it's all about survival, so I don't know if that would exactly contradict or make the statements that I'm trying to give you guys any more relevant to what we're talking about. So, I mean, a lot of it comes down to what you guys possess personally in your own hands. I mean, mine is going to be significantly different than your guys's. A lot of you guys might have things that most people don't have in their house. Some of you might not have what other people do. So the whole point of this was to make you guys think. See, bring it into a context of if you had to stay in one room and there was no ability to leave, where would you go? What would you do? What would be your first action? Again, I mean, you're not allowed to leave, but the whole point was about survival. It was to see what you guys could use within your household ability to, I guess, comprehend and be able to adapt situations that are normally not something that you're used to. I'm sure a majority of you guys are not, yep, I'm gonna, board myself in my room today. This sounds like a great idea. Or kitchen or whatever you chose. So I'm interested to see what you guys have to say. I mean, I know this commentary was a little bit more different, I guess, compared to what probably a majority of you guys are used to. More of that lovey-dovey, hey, let's be best friends, let's give each other high fives in the shower and stuff. But with that in mind, definitely I found it to be something I was more interested in. I guess you could say I was more interested to see how you guys would maybe come together or depart very, very quickly in different circumstances. And, I guess I will see depending on how this video does, but definitely, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I mean, there is quite a bit of time left between here and the end of the commentary, so I will definitely do my best to, I guess, come up with another selected topic for you guys. But a lot of you guys will know who I am, definitely. If this is on my channel, which it will be, you guys, probably have no idea what I'm talking about for other networks. But I am placed on other networks to do other kind of graphical design stuff and do video stuff for them as well. So, if you are from another network and you have absolutely no idea who I am, you guys can definitely check out my channel with the links below. I mean, definitely I do take pride in what I do. I do upload every single day, at least that is my common goal. I try not to miss a day, but it has happened in the past, but I usually make up for it on the next day, which, as a lot of my subscribers will know, that I'm pretty reliable in that standpoint. I do my best to bring you guys HD footage. I mean, 720p is definitely of a higher resolution. If you guys watched it in that, congratulations, you saw much more of the images that were present on the screen compared to 360, 240, and 480p, but at the same expense. 1080p is just not something that I have the luxury to do, considering that my TV is interpolated, and a lot of you guys that are like, well, why are we getting all high in tech right here? I don't know. But definitely interpolated are not good TVs unless you're watching just movies, then they're pretty good, but for gaming and doing YouTube, they are basically the demise of 1080p. They're kind of like the joke of it. They're not exactly, they're not really 1080, to be honest with you guys. They look 1080, but when they go on YouTube, they get all screwed up because, YouTube is progressive scan. So definitely, if a lot of you guys are looking into YouTube, make sure, start with your TV. Make sure you know what your TV is before you just go out and spend a lot of money, because it could be your demise, I guess, in your eyes or whatever. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. I do realize that the commentary, again, was more sporadic and more dimensional, I guess, compared to other commentaries I've personally done on different channels and stuff like that. But again, guys, I will see you guys in the next installment. I'm going to sign off just a little bit early, and I will talk to you guys in the next installment. This is Nerdmode signing off. Peace.
Get the fuck out of here.
Mission accomplished. Nice job.